Hey everybody, September 2nd, 2017, approximately 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. Now that Harvey has wreaked his menace upon the Gulf states, now all eyes are on Irma. Irma is shaping up to be a devastating storm, possibly something on a scale even more biblical, possibly, than what we just saw with Harvey. This is going to be a much faster moving storm. But what's amazing is the projections they're showing right now, how it's going to come in and hit the eastern seaboard. So I want to go over this real quick with you. So we're just going to go through the next few days. This is a 10-day out thing. After 5 days, they do say it gets sketchy, but it is what it is, you know. And so here's Harvey. Irma, right there. 98, 126 mile an hour winds down there. 4th, coming into Santo Domingo. And you start to see right here a high start to form. And this is going to cause Irma not to be able to break off and go out into sea. At least that's what they're projecting. And here we go. Here's the 5th. Next Wednesday, the 6th. As you can see, she's forming good. 7th. She's coming up through. 8th. This is where it starts getting interesting. As you can see, you have this big high right here, this blocking high. She's got a very defined eye, 148 I saw right there. So she's 4, almost a 5. On Saturday the 9th, now you start looking at this. Now it's clearly got its sights somewhere. It looks as though with this right here, you'd think that it would go maybe in here. But it doesn't do that. Let's go to the 10th. Now this is where it's going to start getting interesting. So we're going to zoom in here a little bit. And we want to see what we're seeing. It looks like north of Boston doesn't seem like it's going to be too much of a problem. 39, 40 mile an hour sustained. So there's going to be a little bit of wind there, but not too much. Our concern is down in here. As you can see, we have a hell of a big storm right here. 150, okay. This thing, I mean, the eye of it looks to be huge to begin with. But look, I mean, it's really affecting everything from Jacksonville up to almost Boston, the entire eastern seaboard. 8 a.m. Sunday, the 10th. As you can see, things are starting to get intense already. There's 48 mile an hour sustained, 51 Philadelphia, Baltimore, Maryland, 52. I mean, you're talking some serious. I want to get in here because I wanted to show Virginia Beach, 71 miles an hour. Can you imagine? Let's bring this guy up here so we can see what's going on here. We got to bring it out one more notch. Sorry about this, folks. Okay, so 11 a.m. the 10th. It is a superstorm. It is huge, it's powerful, and it's sitting right off the coast. New York City seeing sustained winds of 54. Pennsylvania, 54. Baltimore, Maryland, 58. And zoom in here just a little bit. Washington, D.C. Check that out. 54 miles an hour. Richmond, 66. Move it ahead. 2 p.m. Sunday. Now look at what's going on. Bring it up here. New York City, 58 mile an hour winds. Philadelphia, 66. Baltimore, 69. Washington, 61. Richmond, 70. This is a huge area. This is a huge bulk of our population lives right in this zone. Now here we go. Now this is 5 p.m. the 10th. Look at that. Hurricane or near hurricane force winds in New York City, 5 p.m. on the 10th. Pittsburgh, 82 mile an hour. Baltimore, Maryland, 81. Washington, D.C., hurricane force winds, 74. 79 in Richmond. And check it out. Virginia Beach, 103, 104 miles an hour. Let's move it up to 8 p.m. So right in this time frame, you can see this is where the shit's going to be hitting the fan big time. Here we go. New York City, 79, 80 mile an hour winds. That's at 8 p.m. on Sunday the 10th. Philadelphia, 86. Baltimore, Maryland, 90. Washington, D.C. 84. Richmond, 82 miles an hour. Virginia Beach, 104. You see what's going on? This is heavy, heavy stuff. This is a very densely populated part of the country. There's no doubt about it. New York City, 11 p.m. on the 10th, still experiencing 80 mile an hour winds. That's sustained winds. Philadelphia, 90. Baltimore, 101. Washington, D.C., 79. Richmond starting to let up a little bit, along with Virginia Beach. They're on the back side of it. Now we'll bump it along to, this is Monday, 9/11, 2017 at 2 a.m. As you can see, it's projecting that the eye of this thing is going to go almost directly over Washington, D.C. It's got its sights on Washington, D.C. Baltimore, Maryland, sustained winds of 82. Pennsylvania, 80. New York City, still 78 mile an hour winds. Okay, so New York City is going to be seeing 16, 18, 20 hours of hurricane force, continuous hurricane force winds. 70. 66. And as you see with this, it basically just rolls on out from there. It's reaching way back, though. It's amazing. It's all the way back here. I mean, in Toronto from this thing, they're going to end up getting winds of 68 miles an hour. Montreal, possibly 36. Let's go back to the Wayback Machine. There's one thing that I want to check with you guys. For those of you that are near to Boston, I want to see what it looks like for the Boston situation. Not too bad. 30 is on the 10th. 41. 8 a.m. 44. Doesn't seem like it's too bad. It looks like Boston is going to be on the upper fringe of this thing. Boston may be looking at sustained 50s at this point. It looks like. Yeah, pretty much. Well, that's good. So, if you are north of Boston at this point, you're probably going to be okay. Or if you are in Boston, you'll probably experience some power outages. But nothing too traumatic, I don't believe. 40 mile an hour winds. Yep. So there you have it. This is where it's going to be. According to this model, the eye of the hurricane is going to come in north of Virginia Beach, south of New York City, and the eye of it is going to make its way, it looks like, over Washington, D.C., if you can believe it or not. There's Washington, D.C. It's, wow, they're going to have a hard day. 9/11 may be a very, very hard day. Right there. The eye almost directly over Washington. Amazing. And Baltimore getting spanked with hurricane force winds, Philadelphia. Yeah, it's all shaping up. We'll keep you up to date on this. Come back as soon as this updates. I'll be reviewing it again. hopefully things will change dramatically between now and, well, famous September 11th. We'll have to wait and see. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe, and I'll be back.